Hey guys, what's up? We are back with another video today, and today we are doing our Cincinnati 2023 football prediction. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. We are closing in our goal of 1,100 subscribers by the end of July. We are 15 away, so help me reach that goal by hitting that subscribe button down below. Also, make sure that you check out the comment section throughout the video and leave your thoughts and opinions on whether you agree or disagree about this upcoming football schedule. Also, make sure that you check out the website and the Patreon page if you'd like to financially support the channel. And the website has articles on it. And then finally, make sure you check out College Football Roundup, the college football channel on this, where me and American Football Network talk about stuff. And there will be exclusive content coming out there in August. Our weekly podcast show called College Football Roundup, hence the name, will be out on that channel as well. So if you do want to get that podcast, make sure you go ahead and subscribe over on that channel and hit the notification bell as well. So let's make our way over to the schedule for Cincinnati. So Cincinnati obviously has a lot of hurdles this year. It's your first year in the Big 12. It is your kind of overall, it's a new adventure. You have a new head coach in Scott Satterfield, the former LSU and App State head coach, or not LSU, Louisville and App State head coach. So it does create a little bit of an interesting environment. Louisville is put in a very interesting position here. Cincinnati is put in a very interesting position in this new era with the new head coach. Obviously, you lost Luke Fickell last year to Wisconsin. So it should be very interesting. So let's make our way over to the schedule and talk about Eastern Kentucky. This is going to be no issue. You're going to get a win there. Should be no problem. Got an easy W. You'll get a win. No issues there. Then you play Pitt, and I'll be honest, this is a 50-50 game for me. It's at Pitt, so it does make me a little bit worried that the game is on the road, that Cincinnati just simply does not have the bodies in order to get a lot of wins, to be honest, on offense. Defensively, they do have some pieces. You bring in Juwan Briggs, obviously a very good defensive player. One of the best defensive linemen in the conference, if not even the nation. This defensive line for the nation between Juwan Briggs and Dante Corline. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering both of those names, but yeah. So both of those players, obviously, two of some of the best players in the country, just simply put, on the defensive line. And I think that that's really what's going to make the difference in this game. I do think Cincinnati gets the win. I think offensively they're going to struggle. Emory Jones, he's a solid quarterback. Last year he played at Arizona State, put up solid numbers, not really great, but solid numbers. And then the prior years he was at Florida before leaving because Anthony Richardson got the job there. So then you have a home game against Miami of Ohio. You should get a win there. You shouldn't have much of a problem against the Red Hawks. I think your defense should be able to slow them down, though I do think that there could possibly be some issues when it comes to offensive scoring of points. Speaking of scoring points on offense, you have Oklahoma coming to town, and what I think will probably be the most anticipated home matchup in Cincinnati football history. Obviously, Oklahoma, a blue blood of a program, a team that Cincinnati has not played very much except on the road. And I mean more the category of a blue blood, a Notre Dame like you played a couple of years ago, an Oklahoma, an Alabama, a Clemson, or not even Clemson as a blue blood, a Texas, a Southern Cal. Those blue blood programs, you don't generally play them at home. So, but you do get to play this game at home, though I do think that it ends in a loss. I think offensively, Oklahoma just has too much firepower, and I just don't see Cincinnati being able to make it in this type of game because of the offensive firepower that they have compared to Cincinnati. Then you have the road game against BYU, and I'm sorry, but I just don't see you winning this game. I think a road game against BYU obviously is a tough scenario, and like I said, the potential problems that you do have offensively is what really scares me. I think that it really does hurt any chance that you have of making it to that point. I think that that really does hinder overall. I think that with BYU specifically, you have Keaton Slovich coming back, or not coming back, coming in. And I think that Keaton is just a better player than Emory Jones. Maybe Emory Jones is a better fit to Scott Satterfield than Keaton Slovich is for Kalani Sitake at BYU. That's possible, and that's an argument that I'm willing to hear. But I think when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, it's a Friday night game in Provo. That's a tough place to play. I'm going to have to give it to the home team. Then you have a home game against Iowa State. I think that this is another loss. I think with Hudson Deckers, Hudson Deckers, sorry. Hit with him coming back, I think it does create a difficult scenario here for Cincinnati. I think that offensively, Iowa State is going to be much better. And defensively, their 3-3-5 scheme has caused many issues for a lot of teams throughout the time that Matt Campbell has been at Iowa State. That it has caused a lot of issues for those teams. So I think that it is going to continue to cause issues, even though I do think this is probably going to be a very defensive matchup. I could see the score being 14-13 or 17-14 or even 10-7. I think it is going to be a very defensive-oriented matchup. Then you have Baylor, who you play. I think that this game is a win. I think that, to be honest, here's kind of my feeling. I think that you either beat Iowa State or you beat Baylor. And I think that between these two games, I think you do win one. But the reason why I picked Baylor over Iowa State is I think Baylor has a tough couple of games prior to this game. So that also kind of helped me in who I was picking. Baylor the week prior, they do have a bye week, but the prior weeks to that, they have Texas Tech at UCF and Texas. So they just have a tough schedule going into that. So I think that it does make for a difficult environment for them. But again, it goes back to offensively, I think that Iowa State is better than Baylor. And I think that when it comes to specifically Baylor, I think the defense is good, but I don't know if it's going to be good enough with how mediocre their offense was last year. Scotty B, I'm sorry. I think Blake Shapen will be better, but I am going to give the win to the Cincinnati. So then you are going to go on the road to Oklahoma State. I just don't see a win here. I see a loss. This game was early on. If you switched Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, I'm probably giving the win to the Bearcats. But with it being a game that's a little bit later on in the season at the end of October, I think it gives Oklahoma State plenty of time. And Mike Gundy, he doesn't lose a lot of games. He doesn't have losing seasons. And I don't think that this will be another one of losing seasons. He hasn't had a losing season in upwards of 12 or 13 years. Or not even 12 or 13. I think it's at least 15 years since 2008. He has not had a losing season. So it's been a very long time, and I don't think Gundy starts here, and I think he needs to win this game in order to make sure that it is a winning season for him. Then you have UCF. I think that this is another loss. I think UCF is the best of the four teams that's joining the Big 12 this year. I think that Cincinnati just simply kind of joins at a tough time. If you joined last year and definitely the year before that in 2021 or even in 2020, I think that this team maybe finishes in the top half of the conference. But I think in 2023, you only bring back three offensive really only two. Emory Jones is kind of considered to be a starter by some websites and stuff like that. But you don't bring back your starting running back. You don't bring back starting quarterback and Ben Bryant, who transferred to Northwestern. You don't bring back any starting wide receiver. You don't even bring back the starting tight end. You don't bring back any receivers. The only guy that had a catch for you last year was Ryan Montgomery, your backup running back. So then you have a road game, or your third string running back at that. Last year was your third string. Now you're backup. Then now you have a road game against Houston. I think that this is a loss. This game was completely 50-50. I think that both of the Cincinnati and Houston are going to be teams that struggle throughout the year. I think that they're going to be teams that Houston is definitely they're going to need some help. They're going to need some help. They lost out McCaskey, and I think that because of that, it really gives them a bad starting place. So I'm going to have my loss there. Then you have the West Virginia game. I do think that you get another win here. I think you pick up your 5th win of the season, making it still eligible for bowl eligibility in that final week of the season. But I do think West Virginia, you are able to get a win there. I think West Virginia may be the worst team in the Big 12. It may be Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is able to beat one of the 2 road games against Houston and West Virginia. It's the same concept, guys. Really, it's the same concept. Iowa State, Baylor, Houston, and West Virginia. I think you win 2 of those 4 games. I don't know which ones you win particularly. I'm kind of picking and choosing, but you can make arguments for either one. Then Kansas. You're fighting for your bowl eligibility. I think at the end it comes down to a loss. I think that you finish with the disappointing-ish 5-7 record. I say disappointing-ish because you have had for the last 5 seasons a winning record ever since a very good era with Luke Fickell. So I think that it does come to a little bit of a disappointing end, but sometimes that's just what it comes down to. You do kind of have losing seasons every once in a while. So it's just how it is. But that's going to wrap up today's video. Hit the 2 videos down below. Right here will be the podcast link for all of my college football predictions, and other here will be a best view video for you created by YouTube. So hit the subscribe button up here if you enjoy the channel. And as always, have a great day. Bye, guys.